Okay, so like I said, I wanted to make a video that is actually about how to move out. Now, you might be sitting here thinking like, "What? Have you seen these videos before?" Other people have made these videos and I'll put a few in the description box. I saw them. I'm inspired by them. Here's my rendition of that. So, there might come a point in your life where the place that you are living no longer serves you. Maybe you have hit the mental wall of living with your family. Maybe you have started to pay the mental tax of living free, rent free with your family members. People continue to say things like, "Yeah, but you can save so much money if you live with your family. You can do all of these things if you live with your family." Well, living with anyone, you are going to pay a mental tax, which is a cost that will start to take a fucking toll on your mental health, and you will not do as well. You will not thrive in the same way that you would be thriving if you didn't have to pay the mental tax. So, yes, you're not paying in money, but you're paying in something else, which is why, and I will continue to say this, like having a job, especially like a minimum wage type of job, something that's like simple, but it earns you like a really basic amount of money that enables you to basically like pay for your basic necessities. That would be like food, housing, transportation. That type of job is not overrated. That type of job is necessary for everyone until you enter another situation where you have security, especially for a woman. So, like, let's say that your parents are just, they're basically trying to get you to marry and move the fuck out, right? Or let's just say, like, your parents have literally told you it's time to leave. Or let's just say, like, your family is just, nobody's like forcing you to leave, but you're sharing an apartment, a Section 8 apartment or something with like 17 people. Because here's another thing that I think a lot of people don't realize, like, if you are living in affordable housing, public housing, any shit like that, as soon as you turn 18, it is time for you to move out. Like, your parents might not make you move out because whatever, they love you. This is kind of like that baby boy syndrome thing. Like, nobody has enough money to take care of you. Like, you for sure need the job. And also, you need to like get away from your family because they have like proven themselves to be like incapable of taking care of themselves fiscally in society. Like, they actually are not able to provide. A part of living in the developed world, in America, in Europe, in the UK, it's actually really anywhere, is being able to produce income, money, and then contribute to the economy by distributing the money that you earn to utilities, to taxes, to rent, the housing market in some way. There's all of this shit that you're supposed to be contributing to. And if you're not, like, that means you're dependent. Somebody else is footing the bill for you. Now, if you are a married person, if you are under the age of 18, like you're a student or something, even if you're a student, that means your university has taken responsibility for you, and probably like your parents have put some money behind you going. But I think there's just this like misconception that, like, cuz it's like things are, it's not even moving. People are going, but it's like they're not going anywhere. Like, nobody's actually making any. This is why I continue to say, like, um how can you put it, like, it's like you're kind of like doing laps around someone. Like, it's like people continue to make fun of like women in the economy, but we're like making the shit move. You know what I'm saying? And like, I feel like right now, like, I'm at a point, like, I honestly know, like, how can I put this, I hate, and I mean like fucking, I hate having a roommate right now. I thought I would like it because I would save money, but the mental tax is too high. I feel like every day I'm like running from her, and I don't want to feel like that. Like, I don't want to feel like a prisoner in my own home. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, I pay too, and I want to pay to like not be around others. You know, and you can do that. That's a freedom that you have. And I feel like you might not know that you have that freedom until it's taken away, or to you until you experience it. And you have the ability to pay for it and then experience it. And once you do, you won't want it to go away because it's very pleasant. Especially like if you have some interior design type of skills and you like make the place that you're living like look good, bro, you're going to want to be there. And also, it's just nice to like walk through your house, like make an espresso shot, go get a sandwich and come back. And there's no one who you have to like answer to, there's no one you have to be considerate of. It's just you, maybe your cats, you know? That is pleasant. It's so pleasant. So, how do you do this? Let's talk about money for a second. So, you have figured out for whatever reason that it's time for you to move out. Maybe you skipped college. Maybe you're actually in college right now, but you live in your hometown. Still move out. Move out. So, there's a lot of places that you can go to. Like, it seems like the hot place right now is like Facebook Marketplace or Facebook groups in your city. So like I live in Nashville right now, so there's like Facebook groups so you can get on the like the the Nashville Facebook group for roommates or whatever. And then that's how you can find a roommate. If you're moving from nothing and you don't have much money and you don't have like a full-time job, you're going to need a roommate because the cost of living is expensive, especially if you're starting from nothing. But let's go back for a second because maybe let's say you have like a little nice little cushion, like a little window, as in like you have 6 months before you need to go. Like maybe you're like a senior in high school and you're about to make the transition, but you still have that buffer because like you haven't graduated yet. So what you could do, you could just get a part-time job and then save all of your, I think anyone with a part-time job, especially if you're living at home, you could save like $10,000 kind of easily. As if you're working like if you're in California or even here, like minimum wage, you're gonna make like $15 an hour or something, you know. And then let's say you work, I don't know, 25 hours a week. Your checks might be like $300 or something. And if we're talking about 6 months, that you're definitely gonna make about $10,000. So like, don't spend that. Like, don't spend any of it. Just like literally save it. Like, don't buy anything. Buy maybe a coffee or something, but like get accustomed to getting a paycheck, saving most of the paycheck, and then continuing to work and then getting some work experience, right? Okay. So if you don't have the buffer at all and you are just starting from scratch, that is going to be really hard because in order to get into even a roommate situation, like they're going to require you to pay something. So you're going to have some money. So if you have no money right now, then the search that you need to be doing is like how to get a job, any job. Like you're whatever, like you have to have some living situation right now, whatever one that you figured out right now, then, stick with that for 6 months until you can get the $10,000. And once you have that, then you can make your next move. If your next move is living alone, then there are certain requirements basically to getting an apartment. I love to recommend apartmentlist.com. It's like this AI funneled app where you basically put in all your parameters, your city, your budget, the amenities that you like, and it'll basically feed you back all the apartments in your area that match with you. And then at anyone you say you love, it's like a Tinder swipe sort of situation. So all the ones that you love, they will the apartment managers will send you like a message and they'll be like they'll help you apply. So then you can go tour the apartment, okay? And they will probably ask you for like an application fee. Usually that's like $300. They might ask you for like a security deposit that could be a month's rent, and then you have to pay like a prorated amount for whenever you move in for that month, and then you're in. But remember, you have $10,000 at this point to play with, so don't move to like the most expensive city because from what I understand, in like San Francisco or LA or something or New York, you're going to be, if this is your first time moving out, you're just know you're already priced out of those cities. So you need to go to like less expensive cities. You can go some places in Florida, not Miami, but like other places in Florida, like Tennessee is a good starter city. Knoxville is actually a really great Starter city. Nashville is like a step up ahead of that. I don't know. Go the apartment list also every year they come out with a list of like the most expensive and cheapest up like for rent, like the most expensive cities for rent, the cheapest cities for rent. So just pick somewhere in the middle, or if you're like really starting out, just pick somewhere on the bottom of the list. But like I said, you still have that $10,000, so you're not starting from nothing. Now, at this point, you don't have any furniture though. You don't have any cooking appliances. I'm not actually sure if you have like your kind of adult necessity clothes yet, right? Which is basically like a pair of starter shoes for whatever job that you're doing. Kind of like uh just kind of a little starter wardrobe. I mean, obviously, if you're, and then, like some basics like a wallet, figuring out the transit system wherever you go. If you don't have a car, that's fine. You don't have to have a car. You need to live somewhere, though, that has public transit. So you need to put that into account when you're deciding where you're going to live. If you do have a car, that's fucking wonderful. So keep your car, obviously, and put that into your budget. But that's basically kind of the long and short of how you move out, like you just, it's about having that $10,000. You need that. You can do it with less. Like, I think, like, when I moved out, I only had like five. I just took the paycheck from my last job, which was like $5,000. And I signed a lease, and then I immediately got a job. But there's some fucking periods that it gets hard, because like if you don't have the full 10, you're going to have like 2 or 3 weeks where you might have to find the job. And then there's going to be like 2 weeks where you're not going to have like a recurring paycheck yet. And you still have to have like your food, your utilities, your cell phone. You have to have all that shit now. So like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like you need that stuff. I don't know. So that's something to think about. Moving out, it's like hard, but it's not impossible. It's kind of like a step. Just write everything down. Use your Google Calendar to like put in events like toured apartment, liked apartment. Here was the price of the apartment. Like write down all the bills that you have. Also, you might have to sign up for like water and electricity, and sometimes those things require a deposit. So you're gonna have to pay that. It's like money is gonna continue to come out. So hopefully you do have like a bank account. I would also maybe suggest having multiple bank accounts with different banks. And the reason for this is because sometimes, especially if you're kind of new to managing money, you might like overdraft or something, and then, or you might just spend willy nilly. And if all of your money is in one place and something happens with the bank, then you're kind of asked out, because now all you don't have access to any money and you need access to it. So that's why having like credit cards and stuff like that comes in handy. But yeah. And then also, so like let's say you get into your apartment and you picked your space, you're not just going to like go to work and come home. You have to do like other things out in the community. Find out where your local parks are. Pick some fucking time before work or after work to go to the park and just sit there, get a journal, write, have a juice, listen to an album, join the local YMCA wherever you are. So that even if you just go to like walk around, just walk, or just do something where you're like actually around other like living humans, that's really important. And then, maybe go see a movie, find a cafe where you can go in the mornings and just grab a coffee. If you can, if you're like not suffering from like a crippling amount of depression, try to get up at the same time every day and then go do something. Like make a calendar. Something that I've done is like I got some memberships to like some gardens and some parks. So then depending on which days I work and I don't work, I go to those gardens and I go to those parks. I like make it a point to like get the fuck out and go. Because I'm not just gonna like sit in my apartment all day. Right? I'm not just gonna like stare at the wall or think that shit will drive you fucking crazy. And also, this is really important. If you are not like friends with people who look like you, at least follow some people who look like you on Instagram or watch YouTubers who look like you. Do something where in the real world you are like listening to a living person talk about something normal, uh to where like your feet are on the ground in a sense, if that makes sense, because you need that. That's actually really important. And I feel like sometimes that can be easy to overlook, but don't overlook that because it's important for real. Okay, so that's kind of how you do it. Definitely unscripted, but I wanted to like get that out because yeah, it's kind of like a how you do it, right?